Yeah.
Boy, it's back. Niggas don't want it like this now.
Yeah.
Streets, man. Real life.
New fans.
Come on.
Like real.
Like
What's
things
good,
real
man?
life.
No, for real life. Good in the city of New York.
Yeah.
No, for real life.
I'm already rich from rap. Now I just deal for a hobby. Just to see if I can make a meal in the lobby. These hoes know I'm a dog, still wanna slob me. And give it up so quick, you feel like a robbery. But maybe it's their brain on drugs. Fuck that, it's the chain on studs and the range on dubs. If it's personal beef, I write their name on slugs. Box them up, put the David Blaine on thugs. In the hood, I got my fame on bud. And you can ask anybody around about the green crack. A couple pulls, I had you on the lean back like Remy Ma and Fat Joe. When the semi-automatic blow, stay low like Bin Laden. You just got your license, nigga, I been riding. The head's been nodding like when the beat's playing. The streets saying, go back on that shit. Killer mixtapes, go back on plat hit. Get the Bentley and go black on black hit. Slow Mac on that bitch, and you won't find her. Even if you put a low jack on that bitch. You bum ass niggas, no jack on that shit. Go put a throwback on that fit. You a lame. And a groupie at his worst. Who gon' die broke and have to use a hoopty for his hearse, nigga?
Right, nigga. Real Talk in New York. Real Talk, the album. Coming September, nigga.
New York.
It's the mayor. It's the mayor. Welcome to Showface News. You can call me what you want. Just don't call me woke. You already know it's the town versus everybody at all times. And you rocking with the town favorite, Showface News. It's Big Gotham, the real New York mayor, Eric Adams, and all the way from Flushing, Queens, we got the one and only Sue Young. Stop playing. And that's where the Sue Young. Stop playing. Listen, we back again with another one game. Make sure y'all hitting that like button, sharing the video. We back again. Boy, it's a lot going on, champs. It's a lot going on, man. They're trying to say Diddy's next up to be arrested over this Tupac murder that took place in 1996 after Keefe D has said numerous times about his responsibilities in the murder of Tupac Shakur, right? So now that Keefe D's officially been arrested, there's been a press conference that I'm going to show y'all in a few if you haven't seen it already. And of course, Jada Pinkett had to speak her mind. Diddy actually had an altercation with the police the same day that Keefe D got arrested. Ain't that crazy? But why? Why did Diddy have an altercation with the police? We're going to jump into that. Hit the like. You know what I'm saying? Share the video as well. Only Showface can provide you this content. Let's get into it. Now, I can't play the full audio. I can play some audio, but not all of it, though. But here's this Diddy. I believe this is in Cali, by the way. I'm going to play a little bit of this. Little audio. Yeah, I can't play it fully because this is some music off his album that he's playing, but he does get stopped by the police. I don't know if this is Miami or not. So the police stops him, and the police is stopping Diddy because Diddy is supposedly playing loud music, according to the police. The cop says that music is too loud. We know how the police do, you know what I'm saying, with everybody. You know, even though the man is a billionaire, he is not exempt to being, you know, wrongfully treated by law enforcement. You dig what I'm saying? Salute to the chat, by the way. I see y'all in the building. But anywho, yeah, this is happening yesterday, the same day that Keefe D is being arrested for, you know, the Tupac Shakur murder, his part in it, at least for what he did. But yeah, so the police stops Diddy, you know, in traffic while he's playing music off of his new album that's dropping, the Love album. You feel me? And you know, this happened. Like I said, I can't play all of the audio because, again, you know what I'm saying, copyrights, things of that nature. I'm gonna play a little bit though.
What's going on?
See. I'm gonna keep it like that. There's a part where I could actually show where the music is not playing. There's little subtitles, but yeah. So the police pretty much stops Diddy and etc. Eventually, he does turn the music down, so I could play it. eventually.
Album.
I'll blast it at home.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you for your service.
There we go.
I need a dick. Oh, it's fucking Friday. What did you think he was going to get? But I'm love, y'all. But don't get love fucked up. Don't get that shit fucked up, baby. Don't get that shit fucked up. Yeah, that shit fucked up. They won't fuck with you for having them peanut butter seats. Y'all know what it is out here. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? We always gonna be able to relate, baby. They gonna pull you over, no matter how much money I got. They gonna pull me over. I'm trying to just get to my man. And this is my city. He know damn well this is my city. You know, I'm the king of New York, LA, and Miami. Hold on.
All right. So we can leave it. We can leave it right there. Because he does play the music, and I don't want to get hit with no copyrights. You dig? But you pretty much get the point. Mr. 305 Network says he is from Miami, and it is illegal to play loud music. I didn't know that, champ. I know you can't play loud music in Miami, champ. I ain't know that, gang. But yeah, the police officer stopped Diddy. A lot of people believe this has something to do with Keefy D being arrested. They don't got nothing to do with that, champ. This is also a Las Vegas case. I don't think this case is going federal yet to where they trying to stop Diddy. I think if Diddy was going to get stopped, the feds would stop Diddy. You dig what I'm saying? But the people do strongly believe that because Keefy D made a lot of mentions of Diddy being accountable for Pac's death and saying he has a lot of hand in it is the reason why, you know, they would try to stop Diddy or lock Diddy up or etc. You know what I'm saying? Now, are these facts? No, you can't prove it. So therefore it ain't facts. But Diddy did indeed get stopped yesterday, ironically so, while, you know, Keefy D ended up getting arrested out there in Las Vegas. You feel me? That happened. Make sure y'all hitting that like button and sharing the video, by the way. And then, who else has something to say in regards to this? The one and only Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, I wish I could say what I wanted to say. I really wish I could say what I wanted to say. I really do. You know, but I can't, champ. But salute to YouTube for being an amazing platform. YouTube's amazing, phenomenal. Now, Jada Pinkett says, now I hope we can get some, clarity, answers, and have some closure. R.I.P. Pac. Shorty, nobody asked you. No disrespect. Shorty, nobody asked you. Who asked Shorty to speak respectfully? I'm just saying. And I understand the relationship you got with Pac. Feel me? She was talking about Pac before they even brought Keefy D back up. She was talking about Pac already. Like, Shorty, wasn't it like something happened? Like, what was it, like last week? The week before, where she was talking about Tupac, like, and now she's talking about Tupac. I hope we can get some clarity about Pac. I hope we can get some clarity now. R.I.P. Pac. Like, yo, shorty, relax. Okay, I get it, but relax, shorty. You have this relationship with a dude who's not here no more. You barely talk about Will anymore. Will's not even a subject. I mean, I don't know if y'all been paying attention to what Will Smith been doing lately. He about to do a joint project with Jordan Lucas. Will's so stressed out over goddamn Jada Pinkett Smith that he about to make a whole rap album with Jordan Lucas. I swear on everything I love. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to what Will Smith been doing lately. Apparently, Will Smith got time to be making music because I swear on everything, him and Jordan Lucas is in the studio creating an album together. Yes, champs. Don't know if y'all been paying attention, gang. You dig? Crazy. Salute. Crazy. Right? But Jada Pinkett, respectfully, with all due respect, I don't think the people are concerned about what you have to say. Now look, it's bad enough you match Tupac Shakur right now. And I'm not gonna say why. It's bad enough you're matching Pac at this moment. If you know what I'm getting at, I think y'all know what I'm getting at. You're matching Pac enough, shorty, respectfully. You're matching him enough right now, ain't gonna lie. That's enough. But shorty, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in the Los Angeles County area knows who did this. Everybody knows by now. You dig? You know what I'm saying? What is Jordan and Will doing in that studio? Making music. They about to make a joint collaboration album, bro. You ain't know that? Yeah, Joyner Lucas, not Joyner Lucas. Joyner Lucas and Will Smith right now is doing a whole album together. Yes, champ. That's what Will Smith is doing right now. Jada get on everybody's nerves, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, shorty, please, shorty. Everybody in Los Angeles know who did it. This isn't news to anyone aside from Keefe D, you know, bragging about his alleged association in the death of Tupac Shakur, right? So that happened, man. And Jada Pinkett Smith is just being Jada Pinkett Smith. We already know where this is going, gang. As long as Willow Smith don't say nothing, you're going to keep it at that. You dig? But there was a press conference with the Las Vegas Police Department yesterday where they talk about the charges with your boy Keefe D. You dig? And make sure y'all hitting that like button and sharing the video. We're going to jump into that. Salute to everybody that's in here. Make sure y'all getting likes up respectfully. Respect the etiquette, you heard? It's the town versus everybody. Come on, gang.
For justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, aka Keefe D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur. Davis was arrested this morning by my LVMPD criminal apprehension team, and this investigation started on the night of September 7th, 1996. It is far from over. It has taken countless hours, really decades, of work by the men and women of our homicide section to get to where we are today. Several of those detectives that are standing here with us include Detective Cliff Mogg, the lead detective on this case. He is now retired. While I know there's been many people who did not believe that the murder of Tupac Shakur was important to this police department, I'm here to tell you that was simply not the case. It was not the case back then, and it is not the case today. Our goal at LVMPD has always been to hold those accountable and responsible for Tupac's violent murder accountable. Just like we do for every homicide victim in our city. Every single victim, every life that is lost is important and remains a priority to this police department. As we methodically built this case to move forward with an arrest, it was also important that at the same time, we're building towards a successful prosecution. We work closely with our esteemed district attorney, Steve Wolfson, in his office to ensure that is going to happen. Mr. Davis's own words reinvigorated our case in 2018. I'm going to give you some of those details, and I'm going to introduce to you our homicide lieutenant, Jason Johansson, and he will provide you many of the details on how we got here today. Lieutenant.
Thank you, Sheriff, and thank you, everybody, for being here today. My name is Jason Johansson, and I'm the homicide lieutenant with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. And my goal here today is to walk you through our investigation and what led us to the indictment.
I don't even like son's name, Jason Johansson. Your name sound like, bro, if it was any Nigerian scammers, that would be their Jason Johansson, bro. You sound like you about to give me some fraud mail, gang. I ain't gonna hold you. Jason Johansson don't even sound correct yet. Listen, there's a lot of names, and Jason Johansson just sound like a fake Gmail account, bro. I'm just gonna keep it 1,000 with you. How y'all feel about that? I know this is kind of irrelevant, but champ, Jason Johansson, bro? Is that a name? Jason Johansson, is that a real name, bro? I feel like I'm about to get fraud mail. Y'all don't feel like that? Smash the like button, share the video. That's a wild name. I'm just saying.
Of Dwayne Davis, also known as Keefe D, for the murder of Tupac Shakur. This case has been reviewed by our homicide team and homicide detectives for over 2.5 decades. And ultimately, our persistence in this investigation has paid off. Let me walk you through a timeline of events that as we know them right now. Prior to September 7th of 1996, as we all know, Tupac Shakur was an artist who was signed with Death Row Records. And that Death Row Records and its CEO, Marion Suge Knight, were closely affiliated with the Mob Piru criminal street gangs, and that they had an ongoing feud with the Southside Compton Crips. Dwayne Davis was the leader and shot caller of the Southside Compton Crips. And both of these gangs operated out of the Southern California area of Compton. On the night of September 7th of 1996, Tupac Shakur, along with Suge Knight, and members of their entourage, which include members of Mob Piru, came to Vegas to attend the Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Members of the Southside Compton Crips, which included Dwayne Davis, along with his nephew Orlando Anderson, were also in attendance at the same event. As both were leaving the fight, members of Death Row Records spotted Orlando Anderson near an elevator bank inside the MGM, and at that time they began to kick and punch him near that elevator bank. I will now show you hotel security footage, as many of you have already seen, related to this incident. And on this incident, you will see Tupac Shakur, who's wearing a shiny satiny shirt, along with Marion Suge Knight, who's a large man in a brown suit, punching and kicking Orlando Anderson. Following this incident, you'll see hotel security intervene, and then they will leave the area of the fight. Little did anyone know that it is this incident right here that would ultimately lead to the retaliatory shooting and death of Tupac Shakur. Following this incident, Tupac and Suge Knight both left the MGM to make their way to a post-fight party, which was to occur at a local nightclub. At the same time, word had spread amongst members of the Southside Compton Crips of
My fault, man.
Thank you, Lieutenant Johansson. I appreciate it. Good afternoon. I am the Las Vegas, Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson. It has often been said, justice delayed is justice denied. It's a quote we hear often and for many, many years when talking about our legal system, but not in this case. Today, justice will be served in the murder of Tupac Shakur. I'd like to acknowledge the relentless work of the many Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department homicide detectives. We've mentioned Detective Cliff Mogg many times, and we can't mention his name enough. He is the detective, along with his colleagues, that brought this case here today to you. A Clark County grand jury has indicted Dwayne Keith Davis with 1 count of open murder with use of a deadly weapon with a gang enhancement. Davis will appear in court in the next few days or so for a hearing to determine his custody status and to set a jury trial date. This grand jury has been receiving evidence for months and has determined there is sufficient evidence to justify the filing of this criminal indictment. I've assigned 2 of my top prosecutors, Mark DiGiacomo and Banu Palal, to prosecute this case. I know a lot of people have been watching and waiting for this day. Tupac Shakur is a music legend, and for a long time, this community and worldwide have been wanting justice for Tupac.
Is that fact? Y'all been wanting justice for Pac? The homie El Padrino says, shaking my head, if that was anybody else beside Pac, they would have been gave up on that case. It's election year, and the crowd trying to get voted. That's a fact. let's not forget, gang. It's definitely election year. Like, it's really election year, gang. It's about to get spooky. You know how that go. So everybody trying their best. You might get more RICO cases out there in Atlanta too. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all think the Southside Compton, the Compton Crips out there in Cali, do y'all believe that there could be a RICO with that too, based upon what your boy Keefe D done did? You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking. Musso Brown says it's all a distraction. Could be. You could never be wrong about that. Tony Jones says best believe they on Diddy. We don't know that for a fact. I mean, look, you gotta have substantial evidence. Like I said, you could blame anything on anybody. Where's the proof though? You know what I'm saying? Where's the proof though? Like, again, I'm gonna be the one to tell you that Diddy ain't have nothing to do with Pac getting smoked at all. Because to be completely fair, this is something that stemmed from something. I mean, there's always been footage of Pac and them beating on Orlando Anderson, you know what I'm saying, and company. Like, that's always been a thing. It was a retaliation murder. You dig? I'm just saying. It was a retaliation murder. You dig what I'm saying? El Padrino says the only way I'm a jacket is if they run down on Puff. That's a fact. And until they run down on Puff, all you doing is listening to everybody else's hearsay because people are clout chasing heavy. So you're going to hear about Diddy every day, respectfully. It's just going to be a thing because that's the algae for you. You know what I'm saying? That's the algae. What can I tell you? You dig? But make sure y'all hitting that like button and sharing the video, y'all. Respectfully, hit that like, please. Let's get it.
Today we are taking that first step. Tupac was actually quoted as saying, "Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside while still alive. Never surrender."
Time out, bro. Hold on. Well, since when the police quoting Pac, bro? Come on, get champs. Why y'all trying so hard? Tupac was best quoted for saying this, guys. Nothing dies within. Yo, this is fake, bro. Yo, get out of it. Who you trying to fool? Gang, no, come on, bro. Let's be for real. Like, are y'all for real? Y'all know y'all not buying this. We are trying so hard to get justice for Tupac Shakur. Ladies and gentlemen, Pac was best quoted for saying this. Yo, get out of here. Who y'all trying to fool, bro? We not buying the BS. I know y'all not buying it. That rubbed me the wrong way, gang. I ain't gonna lie. You got the police quoting Tupac since when, bro? And on the West Coast too, where they got some of the most corrupt police. I mean, we know NYPD is very, very corrupt. If you've been involved with police troubles in New York like myself, you know exactly how corrupt the NYPD is, Chin. You dig? but on the West Coast, out west, they try and quote Tupac. Yo, bro, this is nasty acting. Y'all gotta get better actors than that, Chin. Come on, champs. Let's be for real. Let's be honest here. This is the biggest, nastiest fake reach, fake love I've ever seen. Ain't never a period in time you got the boys in blue trying to quote Pac. And on a public platform, we're gonna try our best in the state of Nevada to get justice for Tupac. We've been doing it for ages, for decades, guys. Like, yo, get out of here, man. Trying to fool me? You trying to fool the people? The people ain't buying the BS. I ain't gonna lie, gang. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all tweaking. But let's continue.
surrender thanks to the great work of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department under the leadership of Sheriff Kevin McMahill, Lieutenant Johansson, retired Detective Cliff Mogg. I am proud to announce the return of this document. This is the indictment we've been waiting almost 3 decades for. It spells out the facts and circumstances and what justifies a Clark County grand jury in returning an indictment. Justice will be served. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. I'd just like to say that the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department Homicide Section year over year solves over 90% of the homicides that occur in our jurisdiction. You won't find that anywhere else in the United States. For those family members that have lost somebody that we haven't solved that case, I want you to know, just like in this case, we're not going to give up. I also say to you that as we begin, we're going to take a couple of questions. I want you to remember in your questioning that this investigation, subsequent arrest, and now indictment is only the beginning of the process. And we are committed and invested in ensuring a successful prosecution as we move forward. So with that, we'll take.
Yeah. Before you get to all that, the homie El Padrino says, bro, they talking about alien spaceships and now Pocula. You got a good point. They've been trying to go for everything. Pretty soon they're gonna say Bush knocked down the towers, allegedly. That's gonna be the next one. Hey, champs, we got an indictment for George W. Bush. We believe. Yeah, I mean, like, come on, bro. Nigga, the truth has already been out for a couple decades now, respectfully. I'm gonna agree with y'all on the movie part. I ain't gonna lie, like, this is getting out of hand. This is just a reach at this point. It's like, what do y'all really y'all just pulling stuff out of the thin blue sky, dog. They gonna find Jesus, fam. They gonna find Christ, all right. They gonna find a couple things. Y'all hit the like and share the video. This is already out of hand. I'm sorry, Ken.
Any questions that you might have?
Jesus.
Ken?
Excuse me. Sir, thank you. Have you been in touch with the Shakur family, anyone within here today? And if so, can you characterize what they told you?
The family has reached out to my office. I imagine also to Metro. We've been in communication with them. We understand that they are welcoming this news. They are pleased with this news, and they are certainly aware of the return of this indictment.
Do you anticipate them being at court for arraignment of Mr. Davis?
I don't think they'll be at the arraignment. I mean, that's a relatively short hearing, but I know that they'll be involved. I know that they'll want to be apprised of what goes on a frequent basis.
Back.
Can you talk about any of the statements that you made that piqued your curiosity again or got you back into this case?
Jason, you want to answer that? We're not going to talk about any particular statements, but maybe he can address that. Well,
What I'll say is there's a lot that's going to come out when it comes time for trial, but he provides his own series of statements that are very consistent with the evidence that we have on the scene that we've obtained through our investigation. I'll leave it at that.
Could you identify anything that came from the service of the warrant in July that you didn't know before?
Yeah, that's a good question. What I'll say about the search warrant that we did in July, that we obtained information or evidence during that execution of that search warrant that corroborated information obtained through our investigation, and I'll leave it at that until we go to trial.
go ahead.
Hello, I'm Lynn with Channel 3. So I know that this was obviously a big move. Is there anyone else being looked at this point? I know a lot of people have passed away since this incident, but is anyone else being looked at as part of this investigation as well?
So as I stated earlier, in this case, the only living suspect related to this investigation is Dwayne Davis. All other 3 suspects are deceased.
Vanessa?
So y'all trying to so since all the other suspects are long gone, are y'all gonna penalize the suspect that's still alive with the ultimate sentence for like all three? Like, what's the case here? But yeah, guys, I think this whole thing altogether is a reach, but at the same time, you gotta realize that Keefe D went on these interviews like with Vlad TV, the Honor Dialogue, talking so crazy about how he was super duper involved with Tupac's murder, bro. And then he backtracked by telling on Diddy. Like, his backtrack story is Diddy made me do it. It was Diddy's fault. Diddy this, Diddy that. Like, bro. So now your follow-up statement is, well, Diddy is responsible for me doing all these things. He made me beef with Pac. In fact, Pac used to be mook, and I seen Pac with Diddy at parties holding hands. Like, bro just straight up started lying. He started lying to cover up everything that he already had said. You dig what I'm saying? And it's crazy. By the way, Excedrin and El Padrino, y'all are now moderators. You don't have to violate anybody in the chat unless they do something that's violating my channel, disrespecting the channel, or just straight up going against the guidelines completely. You dig what I'm saying? Anything super duper out of pocket, you got to make sure you hide them from the channel. And if anybody, does anything just bogus, you could time them out. But if you got to time somebody out for over 24 hours, you might as well just hide the user from the channel. Depending, that's only if in the event somebody comes into the chat on some nonsense, though. You dig? It seems like the chat is doing pretty well today, so I don't think nobody got to catch wreck. You dig? What Black Faith Production does say is, if Congress doesn't submit funds by midnight tonight, we are officially on a government shutdown, and we talking about Pac for 2023. You're right, Chan. You know why? Because I've been seeing things on a government shutdown too. And that's a federal government shutdown too. I've also seen that, Chin. I've also seen that as well. You have a great point, Chin, because I was reading about that the other day. Make sure y'all hitting that like, respectfully. Share the video as well. You dig? Don Corleone says this. He says, lock all of them up and make sure that each one get a cellmate named Grandma who's a gangster. Nah, champ, that's not it. Why are we talking about? Why? Listen, one thing I never understood is why every time somebody got locked up, the first thing a lot of people talk about is people getting their buns assassinated. Why are we talking about bun assassination is ridiculous. Why is the first thing people jump to when we talk about people getting locked up is bun assassination? Why is this the first jump to? Like, why is this the first discussion? This is not Scared Straight 1979. You dig? And I'm not telling you that in prisons that this isn't going on. But I can promise you it went on way back when, more so than it did today. You dig? We got to stop making it a point to jump into nasty bun activity when people get locked up. Can we stop doing that? Can we please stop? You dig what I'm saying? Can we please stop? Because one thing's for certain, if you get locked up, you're going to have to show and prove. And if you show and prove, I'm pretty sure there ain't going to be nobody trying to try you like that. If you come in there with nonsense, you dig? There ain't going to be too many people trying to come in there talking about they going to do this, that, and the third, especially if you want timing. You dig? El Padrino says he going to beat that charge, and he know it. His interview price not going to be yesterday's interview. Nah, you right about that. If he beat this, he going to jack up them prices on interviews, champ. That's a Fendi. He going to jack up them interview prices for sure. Now, I think today he supposed to have a hearing, right? He supposed to have some type of hearing. I guess it's a bond hearing, and they supposed to set a trial date as well. And they said they already got the grand jury ready, and they've been doing their investigation for months now. So they've been looking through them YouTube videos like hawks, for real. Niggas, bro been on a YouTube run for a minute. So we gonna see. All I know is that bro retracted his statements and said Diddy did this, that, and the third. That's a fact. Y'all hit the like and share the video, gang. It's wild. For real.
Thank you. Vanessa Murphy, Channel 8. Steve, can you talk about the murder charge if he is not the one believed to have pulled the trigger?
Yes, well, under Nevada law, and this is the law in most states in this country, you can be charged with a crime whether you're directly involved or whether you're an aider and abettor. We have an aiding and abetting statute, which provides that if you help somebody commit a crime, you can be equally as guilty. The best example is two guys that agree to commit a bank robbery. And one of them goes into the bank with a gun and actually commits the robbery, and the other guy is the getaway driver. Never went in the bank, but he assisted the guy that went in the bank, so he's equally guilty. That is one of the theories in this case as well.
Last question.
Don Corleone says they deserve it. They took a good man for their greed. What do you mean by that? Are you talking about Keefe D and Pac? I know you're not talking about the Keefe. You're not talking about Keefe D and them, right? Who are you talking about specifically when you said they deserve it? They took a good man for their greed. Are you talking about Keefe D and them? Is that who you're referring to? If so, that's not necessarily true, because again, you got to realize we're talking about people who was ops. So Tupac jumped into a fight that really didn't have nothing to do with him, because again, Southside Compton Crips is the ops to his death row peers, right? So you're talking about the Pirus beefing with a Crip set. He shouldn't have never been involved in that. I keep saying that Tupac should have never got involved into a beef that don't got nothing to do with him. Because once you put yourself in the mix, bro, you might as well be Piru too, because bro, you jumping into their beef and fighting with their ops. At that point, you done chose a side. Like, bro, you might as well be on the set at that point, because why in the world are you jumping in to the fight, bro? You dig what I'm saying? We talking about just regular street conversation. What goes on in the streets. I mean, this is a anywhere thing. We can't even say this is just West Coast politics or nothing like that. We talking about just in general in the street. You jump into if you with your mans in them, your mans in them is in a gang. You not in the gang. You are neutral. You are neutral. You're not even in nobody's set. But you jump on their ops like you part of their set. At that point, you kind of make it a thing that you are part of the set. Almost. Or at least they ops is looking like, okay, you the ops too though. And yeah, and you their most prized possession. So we're definitely going to take out their most prized possession, champ. You shouldn't have jumped in, because at that point, you making it seem like you repping the set too, because you're getting involved in their beef when you shouldn't have. And that was Pac's issue. You dig? Pac didn't understand street politics. You know, Pac and Biggie died very young. You understand? They didn't really understand. Well, I'm not gonna say. Well, I could. Yeah, I'm gonna still say they didn't really understand street politics on a level to where they didn't realize the aftermath of things that they did. For example, Biggie didn't realize the aftermath of him going to LA out there. Like, he shouldn't have never been in LA. Again, Pac and Biggie died. They're incredibly young. So they didn't really understand the circumstances of their actions. You dig what I'm saying? They just doing things out of pure, I should say, emotion, right? Like, so Biggie went to LA because he didn't want to look like he was buns. And Pac did what he did because Pac is like, yeah, that's my peoples. I can't just sit there and not join in. You know what I'm saying? So again, street politics wise in general, we ain't even talking about just West Coast politics, because every region of the United States has their own politics. But just in general, anywhere you go in the United States, in our culture, in the streets, you just don't jump in to this gang activity just because once you do that, you're making a statement that, look, at this point, nigga, this is the set I'm rocking with. You dig what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Respectfully. Blank Faith Production says, this is my favorite channel, especially the intros that play 2070 Cassidy Get Retarded on old 2004 Lloyd Banks freestyles. I always know your intro songs word for word. Salute, gang. You already know the vibes. You dig? Well, yeah, man, this is just facts, man. I can't make it no clearer than that. You dig? I can't make it no clearer than that. You dig? He says, you play gangster and gangster stuff. Exactly. You playing gangster, they're gonna assume that you with that. You're making a statement. You're jumping into the fight, bro. At that point, you've made the statement that this is who I'm aligned with, and I'm the ops too. You dig? I'm with them for real. Don Corleone says one thing about it is if it goes to the feds, ain't no beating it, especially when they have someone pointing fingers. I'm not gonna hold you. Diddy's name is gonna come up a lot by Keefe D. He's gonna definitely try to rat on Diddy. And honestly, you can't really, he don't really got, there's no information to prove Diddy's involvement in this. You feel what I'm saying? He's just gonna point fingers to say Diddy, Diddy, Diddy. It's just finger pointing in narratives. It's not a real, you don't really have any information on Diddy doing anything in regards to this crime. Lies, you see, and again, people saying Diddy has involvement in Pac's death, there's no proof of that. You understand what I'm saying? That's narratives. You can't use narratives as proof in court, bro. Narratives is not proof. In court, you have to have proof. You have to have documentation. You can't just say something just to say it. Unless you have witnesses. Witnesses is different. But you don't even have witnesses to prove that. That's hearsay. Where's the proof that Diddy did something to Tupac or had it done? You understand what I'm saying? Where's the proof? There's no proof of that, bro. You think? There's literally no proof of that. Tazzy Avi says Pac knew what he signed up for. It's sad, but it's the truth. Pac willingly involved himself in gang politics, knowing he would be murdered. He said it himself in multiple songs. Pac also felt that he was gonna pass away soon anyway, so he was kind of living on the edge. Let's be for real. Pac's final days, he was living on edge. Let's just keep it 1,000. Pac was kind of looking to Pac was kind of feeling that he was gonna get up out of here sooner than later. Not gonna hold you. Kind of manifesting his own death, if you will. I would say that because he was talking real crazy. Keefe D been wanting this attention and recognition. He's feeling like a boss right now. I don't know if he's feeling too much like a boss in them handcuffs, champ. You can feel like a boss, but once you gotta face that court, that judge, I don't know how much bossing you gonna feel like, because everything is all fine and dandy because you in that courtroom, gang. Let's keep it a G. You dig? I'm just saying, gang. Don Corleone says, I can't read it. He said they didn't have to kill Tupac and Biggie. They didn't, but they did. And again, a lot of what was done was based on emotion and bad decisions, man. You could say a lot of things. You could say that about multiple people. You could say they didn't have to do this, that, and the third, but you have to understand this is a street issue. This is a street issue, bro. Stuff like this happens all the time, bro. For example, things like, you see how Takeoff got smoked, right? You got to understand, things like Takeoff getting smoked behind a dice game is happening all the time, bro. This is a common occurrence. I done heard about people betting in the street. I done seen people betting in the street, and the end result is what? The end result is gun violence, right? So things like these are happening all over the place on a regular basis. It's a common occurrence. You're just not hearing about it. But people passing away with the circumstances of Biggie and Pac happens all the time, bro. This ain't even nothing new under the sun. There's plenty of people who done fought other people, where that's the opposite of the gang that they cool with. And they're not even a part of the gang. But once you fight, the ops of that gang, you're kind of making it very clear that I'm aligned with that gang. And now you're the ops too. And you are definitely, under the radar to catch wreck. You know what I'm saying? He said you are obligated. Hold on. Absent mind, the professor says you are obligated to jump in and not you're obligated to jump in and help your people whether you bang or not. Not necessarily. Not necessarily, bro. I'm not gonna lie. In certain situations, you making yourself a target. Again, you speaking from the perspective of somebody who isn't really or hasn't really been around gangs or gang activity or understands the lifestyle of being a gang member. You can't just jump into stuff just because, bro. Because there's an ultimate price you gotta pay. And if you didn't put in some type of oath to be down for whatever comes with that lifestyle, you're kind of wasting your time because you didn't really sign up for that. But once you put yourself in the mix, that's why they say stay out the mix. Because if you're in the mix, you're involving yourself. And then when you involve yourself, you are definitely subjugating yourself to major harm to come your way. You understand what I'm saying? So again, you can say that, but you ain't take no type of oath or etc. to put in that work and deal with what comes with that lifestyle. Once you involve yourself in that gang and their ops and what's going on with them, you're putting yourself out there that you're kind of a part of the gang, and now you have to deal with the BS that comes with being a gang member when you're not one. You understand what I'm saying? So again, what Pac did was he involved himself in something that he shouldn't have involved himself with, which ultimately led to his demise without him realizing it. You dig? So again, you could be the most neutral person, but the moment that you get involved with your gang members that you cool with and they ops, the moment you put yourself in that situation to where you're fighting their ops, you're pretty much signing up for something you didn't realize you signed up for. Don Corleone says Diddy is not going to beat it for the simple fact that they have a witness saying he's involved and Johnny Cochran is dead. Who's the witness though? There's only one person. That's what I'm asking. And Diddy ain't even been arrested yet. So I mean, we're talking about Diddy. These is hypotheticals at this point. Like, we talking about Diddy, but these is really hypotheticals. You dig what I'm saying? Champ for a reason says facts. You got to know what come with that. It's just the facts, bro. It's simple. You dig? It's simple. Who is this? I don't know too much about Biggie, but I know a lot about Pac and was friends of the family. He was close with my uncle Smooth B from the group Nice and Smooth. Salute to Nice and Smooth. If y'all remember Nice and Smooth, that was a good duo. Classic. If y'all know about Nice and Smooth, y'all bugging. Absent Minded Professor says you can't come back around the way if you watch your man get beat up and you with him. If I call you my homie, I ain't letting you get beat up because it's gang related and I don't bang. I get what you're saying, but you better understand. At that point, you might as well call yourself gang. I'm just telling you. You can do whatever it is that you choose, champ. You can do whatever it is that you choose. Just know, once you involve yourself with the ops, attacking their ops, your gang member friend, you, sir, are now the ops of that gang. You are now a target, champ, whether you realize it or not. I'm not even saying that you shouldn't defend your mans, but when you do, understand you are now the ops of the gang that he's beefing with, champ. Because you put yourself in the mix. Just saying. I would say choose your friends better too. Champ, for a reason, I like what you said. You said Pac died like King Von, trying to be too tough. Well, the King Von situation is interesting. I don't think King Von and them knew that they was actually going to get boomed on when they went in and tried to beat up Quando Rondo and them. King Von was really about that life, bro. King Von was a savage. King Von had a lot of bodies on his belt. King Von was really living that life, champ. Von was a real goonie. Von was a real goon, bro. King Von eventually was gonna come to that point. Cause I ain't gonna hold you. King Von a different boy from Pac. Von was really out here stepping for real. You dig? He a real Chirac savage. So Von was eventually gonna meet his maker. Eventually. Now probably not like that, but eventually. Excedrin says these artists need to ask themselves, am I an employee or the employer? El Padrino says, at that time, West Coast ain't jack NY gang members. That's a fact. And still to this day, a lot of West Coast do not jack NY gang members. Let's keep it a beam. And still to this day, and you know this because if you was paying any attention throughout the whole ordeal with Whack 100 and them talking crazy about Jim Jones and them, you know a lot of the West Coast people don't even understand East Coast gang politics, because the East Coast gang politics and the West Coast gang politics is two different worlds, because we don't have hoods with our Bloods and Crips. Our Bloods and Crips in New York and every other gang that we have are not officially associated with any hoods. Now, even though some projects may be a certain set, we still have people that jack the set in other areas. So it's not the same as how the West Coast is. It's a lot different, especially since a lot of our gangs are created in the prison system. You dig what I'm saying? Most of our gangs is prison before it hits the neighborhood. And in the West Coast, things hit neighborhood first before the prison system. You dig what I'm saying? They're really just going to war with each other for ages. And a lot of those gangs are old gangs that have been around since like the 70s and the 60s. And in New York, we really have gangs that started in prison and then hit the street. So it's a big difference. But even to this day, the West Coast don't really jack New York and other areas having Bloods and Crips. But it's an expansion, like I said the other day. It's an expansion thing. You dig what I'm saying? Big said, beating down Billy badasses, cracks and stacks, and myself, robberies of class. But I pass-ish, get drastic, burying you bastards. Biggie was also Crip too, by the way. But that's a whole different conversation. Yeah, the West is a completely different ball game, bro. And I mean, if you want to talk about Bloods, they under a different nation too. It's a different nation, bro. And there's New York, a lot of New York Crip sets are under West Coast sets. Not all of them, but a good amount are. Diddy Bodyguard is talking a lot. He even mentioned that Diddy said they both have to go, Biggie and Tupac. You're talking about Gene Dale. Like I said, you got to be careful who you listen to on YouTube. People like Gene Dale are straight up liars, bro. People like Gene Dale are really liars, bro. Those are clout chasers that you watching. You got to know the difference between a clout chaser and somebody who's really telling you facts because they telling you facts and not really concerned about lying to the masses to get their name in the air. You dig what I'm saying? Because people will tell 1,000 lies, bro. They might tell you a little bit of the truth, but they're gonna put a big lie in it. You feel what I'm saying? Don Corleone says, then you have others in the feds who are witnesses to that case. You could. Joey Bad says Tupac was a real artist, Von was a real stepper, and that's a fact. Von was a real stepper. That's not to say that Pac wasn't. That's not to say that Pac was buns, because obviously Pac was the furthest thing from being buns, because obviously Pac was not scary at all. In general, Pac was not scary. Let's just be real. He was ignorant to certain things, but Pac was not scary whatsoever. You dig? You might see some old footage of Pac from high school and say he's scary, but that don't mean Pac wasn't scary. Though Pac was definitely doing some real things. He just wasn't stepping on nothing. He was definitely doing real things. Absent Mind Professor says the fact is Death Row was ran by Mom Paru. Pac automatically was affiliated just by signing. It was inevitable. I mean, you kind of have a point in that. You kind of have a point in that, and I'm gonna say why you do, because that's kind of like the same thing as, I don't even want to compare that to 6ix9ine. Matter of fact, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. But you make a good point, because they was getting themselves in some nonsense. You feel me? So I get what you're saying though. Don Corleone says most of them want their freedom back. They're already telling. A lot of rats out here. Suge never gonna testify. He the only witness. Suge already told on somebody already. Boy, Suge already told. You forgot Suge got knocked out in the club and told on, bro. Suge was in court crying. Did you forget? Listen, Suge already marked himself out, because Suge was in jail crying and told on the dude who knocked him out in the club, man. You can't depend on Suge. I'm sorry, Chan. Suge is already down bad. My fault. Baby Milk says if Gene Deal is lying, why hasn't Diddy sued him for slander? I mean, Gene's allegations are serious and damaging. Maybe he don't care enough. Bro, not everybody's gonna sue everybody, bro. You also gotta realize, do you think that Diddy has time to watch? You gotta understand, not these celebrities have a busy lifestyle, bro. People are living their life. If I'm out here in Dubai, you think I'm concerned about something Gene Deal is talking about, bro? Everybody's not gonna sue you. That's number one. Also, everybody's not watching you too at the same time. You gotta think about somebody like Diddy is a very busy person, running multiple businesses, managing artists, and etc. You think he got time to be watching somebody named Gene Deal? That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta look at it from the perspective of somebody who's actually living that lifestyle. Somebody who's making a ton of money and that's constantly on the move, on the grind, business to business. Bro, they don't got time to watch no Gene Deal. If I'm Diddy, you think I'm watching, bro? He probably don't even know nothing about what Gene Deal doing right now, bro. He's so far removed from that. Diddy ain't got time to watch these people on YouTube, bro. You said, why hasn't he sued him? The nigga probably don't even realize, bro, doing what he doing. You think he watching, bro? You speaking from the perspective of what you see. You think Diddy seeing what you seeing? He's not. That boy he living on a different plateau. I'm just saying, you talking about a billionaire, bro. Y'all gotta stop and think. The thing that people make a mistake about is they think that you gotta look at it from a different perspective. You gotta put yourself in the shoes of a billionaire. Put yourself in the shoes of a businessman. He don't got time to watch Gene Deal, bro. He's busy. He is working. Diddy, one of the craziest hustlers in the music business. You think that he got time to be watching G, bro? He probably don't even know that he's doing that, bro. I'm being serious. Like, you know what I mean? No. Hold on. Let me see something. Hold on, let me see something real quick. I want to see somebody in the chat talking crazy. No. He could say that. He's good. He's good money. He's good money. Listen. He could say that word, bro, respectfully. He's good. He's good money. As long as it's not the other N-word. You feel me? As long as it's not the politically correct N-word. You feel me? Etc. Let him rock out. He's good. He's Gucci. He's good money. Listen, let them people talk like that. He's good money. Don't worry about it. Misunderstanding, champ. It's all good. Big Lou says, you think Diddy is not paying attention to what's going on, especially if he really has something to do with this? I'm not saying he's not. What I am saying is that he's not watching Gene Deal, bro. I highly doubt it. You know what I mean? I blame Puffy again. Don Corleone says he definitely involved himself in the courts. That's called accessory. Just a little. Baby Milk's all right. Let's see what Baby Milk says. I'm not saying that he's watching G Deal. I'm saying word gets around because Diddy's name is being attacked with murderous allegations. I'm sure people on Diddy's team is getting back to Diddy. Yes, but also realize that's been going on for years though too. At the same time, you know how long people been mentioning Diddy being the one involved with Pop? Like, bro, that's been happening for eons. Bro, people have been saying that he had something to do with it since the 90s, bro. It's only became, bro, it's been a thing. Bro, I've been hearing about Diddy's responsible since I was a kid. Word to my mother. I've been hearing about Diddy did this, Diddy did that for years, bro. It's not even new for Diddy. I don't think Diddy cared too much because if he really was involved with it by now, don't you think he would have already been arrested? Because somebody just saying he did it and he's responsible, bro. They've been saying that for ages, bro. Yeah, bro, acting like I'm a white boy or something. Nah. He's a new moderator, bro. He's a new moderator. It's all good. Listen, Maz, let me give you some etiquette. People could say the N-word as long as it's a politically correct and not a politically correct N-word. You feel me? Things you can't say is like very derogatory terms, like and weirdo terms. Like, you can't talk about that community. You can't talk about the alphabet peoples. Stay away from the alphabet people. You can't talk about them. That's number one. Number two, you can't say nothing that's just out of range. You can't threaten nobody. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that. Then we going out of pocket. You dig? Absent Mind says Diddy ain't watching or stressing none of this. He is living life. His legal time will update him if it gets serious. Yeah. I highly doubt Diddy is worried. I mean, y'all seen the video with Diddy that I showed earlier? Because yesterday the cops stopped him because he was playing loud music in Miami. I showed y'all that video already. Does Diddy look like he's bothered by any of this? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Dude bugging, champ. Who's bugging? Face of Faces says, I saw Diddy at the Hate Me Now video shoot. He is a piece of work. Hey, champ. You call your autocorrect is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Your autocorrect is crazy, bro. Oh, champ. That's a crazy autocorrect. Diddy made a crazy video, then deleted it. Which video was that? Because let me tell you something. The internet right now is trying to collect anything that got deleted. The internet don't miss nothing. If you delete a video as a celebrity, I promise you somebody done already saved it before you got a chance to delete it. That's a fact. You know what I mean? Y'all know me though. I'm not the woke guy. I don't do all that woke stuff. I say you could call me what you want, just don't call me woke for a reason. Showface is not woke. I don't do all that woke stuff. Showface is not religious. I definitely don't do none of that religious stuff, gang. I ain't gonna hold you, champ. I done been accused of being in the Illuminati. I done been accused of being all this nonsense. And I'm very happy about it. Thank you, champs. Appreciate you. You know what I mean? There's an interview on YouTube. Puff Daddy bodyguard admitted to Puff Daddy saying Top and Diddy got to go. The bodyguard also admitted that Puff put $1 million up for Tupac death. That person is a clout chaser. That's what clout chasers do. That's also a lie. You dig? I'm gonna make you take 5. I'm gonna do something for you right now. I'm gonna make you take. You can take 5 is what you can do for me right quick. You heard? You take 5. You can do that. How about that, champ? You dig? Listen. If you come to the live stream begging for attention or even promoting anything, especially without my consent, it's an automatic 5. I ain't gonna hold you. El Padrino says, how you gonna put me in timeout, champ? Oh, champ. Listen, stop. Listen, gang. Moderators. Respectfully, do me a favor. Don't put nobody in timeout unless they do something very drastic. Okay? Don't time nobody out unless it's necessary. He didn't do nothing crazy. You don't time nobody out unless it's necessary. Don't time nobody out just because you feel like timing them out. What was he bugging? What did he do? I didn't see him do anything. Let me know what he did, and I'll let you know. How about you let me know what he did, and then I'll let you know if it was a reasonable timeout. What did he do? You dig? That's all I want to know. It's more than New York Bloods. It's New York Crips as well. What did he do? That's all I'm asking. What did he do? He said he's not a white boy or Latino. Okay. That's not a reason to put him in timeout. Bro, that's not a reason to put him in timeout, bro. That's not a valid reason to put him in timeout, bro. I'm sorry. He said he just told you he's not white or Hispanic. He's telling you the truth. What did that have to do with anything, bro? Listen, no petty timeouts. Please don't do no petty timeouts. Do me a favor. If you're going to be a mod on the channel, do me a favor. He didn't try to violate you, bro. Don't put nobody on timeout unless it's completely necessary. That's all I'm saying. That's the first warning, champ. If you're gonna be a moderator, you can't be doing you can't just be timing out people just because. That's it. But yeah, moderator etiquette. If you're gonna be a mod on the channel, there's no petty timeouts. Do it because he did something wild, okay? The man just told you he was not white or Latino. No, bro. Respectfully. You dig? Anywho. Yeah, bro. Yeah, like I said, like people are gonna clout chase because that's just what they do. They're clout chasers, man. These nasty clout chasers who come on YouTube, it be old and notice. I hope y'all pay attention to the pattern, right? I hope y'all pay very close attention to patterns, right? Notice every person that come on YouTube saying something bad about Diddy or anybody in the industry usually is a has-been. Somebody who used to be somebody or had a little name, had a little buzz, but they ain't really go nowhere. It usually be those people. Notice, it be those people who had a little bit of a name. Y'all arguing over the chat, but nothing is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Yo, bro, you're having the biggest misunderstanding of all time. But listen, notice the people that be on here on YouTube who be doing these interviews be people who didn't win. Y'all see how the people who didn't win are always the people to say that this person did that and the third. Oh, he did this. Oh, he did that. It be the people that didn't win, bro. Notice how all the people who did not win are the people that are constantly saying negative things about the people who did win. So I want you to keep that in mind. You dig? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. It's the losers who keep trying to come at the winners. What does that sound like to y'all? I know y'all know what a hater is. You think that if Showface, let's say Showface get over 1 million subs. Showface becomes a very big name on the internet, right? Like a huge name on the internet. You think there's not gonna be people doing interviews about Showface? You think there's not gonna be people like, Showface is Illuminati. I seen him eat a bat's head live, champ. I seen Showface take the oath, champ. He went through those doors, champ. You think people not gonna go out there and say Showface, this, that, and the third? And a lot of y'all that's here are gonna be like, listen, I remember Showface from way back when. Showface grinded like everybody else. Showface did that. Showface always been that guy. Showface really was out here grinding. And that's how Showface got big, because Showface was really putting in work. Salute to Martin Elkins in the chat. You know exactly what I'm getting at. Choke No Joke is one of those people. Hating on the next man. The people that didn't win are always those people talking about the winners. For what? And the winners ain't do nothing to them neither. You feel what I'm saying? Exactly. Once you start plowing up, they start popping out. You feel me? You think people ain't gonna... You think ain't gonna be a bunch of dirty section YouTube niggas gonna be doing interviews about Showface? Trying to get their name up like Showface? And they could never do what Showface could ever do. Because they're not dedicated like Showface. They don't do a Showface. They're not professional like Showface. They don't talk like Showface. They don't have Showface talent. They don't have Showface training. They can't be Showface. They don't have a personality. But then they're going to go on YouTube on another nigga platform and say something crazy about Showface. I guarantee you that happens within the next year. So give it time. These things happen. Haters is going to hate. And the same bozos that didn't make it are going to talk crazy. It's going to be a nigga that's dirty section YouTube that's going to go up there and be like, Showface, he stole from me. Yeah, that's the reason why I can't move. You think that's not going to happen? It'll happen. Give it time. And remember this video. Clip this video. Like, Showface said this years ago. Yeah. Or a year ago, whenever it happened. You dig? Salute. I'm just keeping it G with y'all, man. Notice these haters is always going to hate, and these losers is going to keep talking about the winners, bro. That's just how it goes. You know, the people that always lost and never won nothing is going to talk about the nigga that won. Period. You really think niggas is drinking bat blood to be famous? Yo, bro, I know people who already made it already. You just don't know who I talk to. You don't get connections from nothing. People either resonate with you. People will either resonate with you or they don't. I done see many successful people in my lifetime, bro. I know millionaires personally that I talk to on a regular basis that congratulate me, that like what I do. Why? Because they resonate with the message, bro. Everything ain't weird. The hate is hate. Tracy C. Trace says exactly. They hate to see another man win. They hate to see another man win. There's a lot of niggas that want to see me fall. And I done been through the worst of the worst and I still ain't fell. I only got back up and got higher. Respectfully. You dig? I done been through the worst of the worst. Listen, this YouTube thing, this social media thing is not easy. Ain't nothing easy about this. This don't come easy. You gotta really be dedicated. You gotta really put in pain. If you ain't been through no pain, you don't know. You don't know success till you know pain. And I promise you, I'm gonna definitely go crazy with this. This is only season what? There's only multiple seasons. And just know when you see me in a different light, when you see me go crazy, just remember these times. Always remember these times. These times is gonna be critical. I already listen. There's people who you don't even know watch this channel, man. There's people who've been on this channel that you don't even realize been on this channel, man. You don't even know this. Showface I've been approached in public multiple times that people who've seen my channel. People always show respect. I've been approached in public in different states Not just here. People have seen me in different states. You'd be very surprised the type of reach that I've had, man. I ain't gonna lie. You dig? Facts is facts. Australia was popping from down under. I see you, gang. Australia in the building. But listen, gang, make sure y'all hit that like, share the video. I'm gonna be back with more content today, but we just had to, talk about this real quick. But make sure y'all hitting the like and sharing the video, gang. Salute to the chat as always. Hit the like. Listen, moderators, respectfully. One more thing for the mods, man. No more petty timeouts. You don't time nobody out unless they start wilding. Okay? If people is acting out of pocket, you know it. Don't take everything to heart, please. That's it. Moderators, do good moderator work. Okay? If I make you a mod on my channel, please. Don't wild out the people, man. Let the people do their thing. So make sure you smash the like button and share the video, man. And you already know the best public service announcement of all time is to make sure that you stop playing. So respectfully, I beg y'all to stop playing. We got a lot more content to come. Salute to the chat. Let's get it, man. Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.